Think we're on. Hello and welcome to Show of Hands Hangout number 38. We have two returning guests, very returning guests, and one very new guest. So I'll have everyone just introduce yourselves, say who you are on the app, what you'd like us to call you, and the funniest nickname you've ever had. One of the user polls, actually. And start with Christian. You're on the left on our screen.
Yes. My name's Christian. Christian1459 on the app. Well, there's two I've been called before. In middle school, you see, I went through a certain phase, and I called myself C-Rock.
Wait,
Literally
so this was
C-ROC.
What was the origin of that, Christian? Why that
I
moniker?
liked basketball. It was during a phase, like...
Did other people call you this, or was just this like self-proclaimed nickname that you had?
Maybe 3. I've got a better one though. I've also been called before, just joking around. This wasn't really nickname per se. Krispy Kreme.
Which could also be used for a blue film. Yes.
Yeah.
And which of those names do you prefer?
Hmm?
And which of those names do you prefer?
Neither. Option C.
Oh boy. Okay, that's a good one.
That was good.
Beardman?
Well, I am RU1 to be seen on the app. You can call me RU or whatever else people call me. Which I'm sure are lovely names by some. Let's see. Funny nicknames I've had. Trying to think of any. When I was in high school, I was really tall and skinny. The skinny part went away about 20 years ago. And so there was a phrase, a period of time where they would call me Screech, as in from Saved by the Bell, which I've never seen. But apparently I looked like that for a while. So I don't know, though. I don't know who he is still to this day.
Really? Did he go to prison?
Huh?
Did he go? I thought one of those like nerdy.
I think he was arrested at least, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so for sure because it wasn't. It was Screech and it was the guy from Urkel. Urkel got like super buff and not nerdy.
I should have gotten that right.
Yeah.
Urkel's been on a couple episodes of Psych and on what else?
Dancing with the Stars?
I don't know what that is.
Didn't Urkel do Dancing with the Stars?
If he had his character, that'd be funny.
But I think one of the nerdy ones got in big trouble.
Yeah, the dude that played Screech got in a whole bunch of trouble.
well.
Lost his house, dated
Oh,
a
you mean Saved by the
stripper
Bell?
or something. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
The dude who played Steve from Blue's Clues.
I remember that, yep.
I remember he OD'd.
Mm-hmm.
You're indeed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh. And that's why they got Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because it was Steve and it was Joe, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I've never actually seen a full
I was
episode.
going to say, I don't know anything about Blue's Clues,
I
hardly.
think I've seen them all.
I think that a Blue's Clues may have taught my sister about no, I can't out her like this on the internet.
But I didn't see
You already started it.
You're kind of stuck.
So
Your sister's friend.
Yeah.
That'll make it more anonymous.
Yeah.
Don't you think about who you're really talking
We
about.
don't know.
So I love my sister, but she is definitely an artsy gal instead of the like logic,
It's true.
science part. And we were watching a Blue's Clues with the kids, and it was talking about how like the Earth will tilt on its axis, axis while it goes around, and that's why we have longer days and totally blew her mind. She was like,
Oh,
"Oh, I didn't know." I was like, "Just shh."
bless her.
Maybe she was such a good actress she fooled you.
No, I don't think so. We've had some other interesting conversations, and I'm like, "How did you not learn this in school?"
I was trying to help you out.
Oh.
I believe. Yeah, I have some stories like that. We'll move on. Yeah.
Okay, so Screech is not something we should be calling you anytime soon.
I don't think I'm very screech-like any longer. Yeah.
Madge jumps in and said Steve didn't OD.
Oh, he didn't. Oh.
Was he the?
I thought he did.
I thought he did too.
Oh, he was balding and wanted to pursue a career in music, in which then he OD'd. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
And Steve apparently couldn't be bald. We got standards here for Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, heaven forbid.
It's true.
Well, he could have. Never mind. So,
Gonzo says that Screech became a total porn star, which I'm going to have to validate this information. Yeah.
who
Carry
said?
on, I will be back.
Who said Screech is a porn star? Gonzo.
It's
Yikes.
funny how the name's Screech then.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then me calling you Screech now would bring a whole new. Too much. Too far. Okay.
Children watching.
Okay. Bama, right?
Yes.
Whew, I did it. I always now I'm saying like the Ala in my head first. I'm like, Bama. Got it. Good.
All I've got is kung fu in a hurry.
So, would you like to introduce yourself on your maiden voyage grand?
Sure. I'm BamaGirl. For those of you who don't know, it is short for Alabama. And my name is Susan. You're welcome to call me Bama or Susan. I totally answer to both.
Or Aunt Bama.
Do what, darling?
Or Aunt Bama.
Or Aunt Bama, yes. There are many people in there that call me Aunt Bama. And the strangest nickname I've ever had, wow, I've had a lot of nicknames through the years, but I guess I'm going to go with maybe not the strangest name itself, but they, it came with a song, so that kind of made it strange. I had a friend who used to call me Susie Q, but she would sing Susie Q to the Scooby-Doo theme song. So she would sing, Susie Q, where are you?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess
That's funny.
So, yeah, I think that's probably the funniest one.
Well,
can we get a rendition of that?
If I can quit laughing, maybe. Let's see. She would say, Susie Q, where are you? That's all she would say. She would stop.
We got someone to do now.
Yeah, I was going to say the rest of it is you got to work.
nice.
And now you're going to get sued by John Fogerty, so congratulations.
He can sue Marcia. She's the one that named it.
Shake it, shake. Now it's stuck in my head.
Sorry.
So apparently, RU has confirmed that Screech did make a adult film.
He made a self-made cake. Yes, he was apparently very proud of one of his activities.
Was it by himself, or did he have a lady?
It was a solo.
Was it a selfie? Well, I'm going back to investigate that now. Okay.
That's kind of bad. So our kids are in a music class, and one of the songs they have is called "Alabama Girl," and it's really catchy. But one of the lines is, "Does it come through in a hurry?"
It's supposed to be "come through in a hurry," but because of the way that the song is sung, it always sounds like "kung fu in a hurry."
So our
funny.
little girl's just jamming out in the back. She sings "Kung Fu in a Hurry." So yeah, awesome. Awesome. Anyways,
That's funny. I actually have never heard the song Alabama Girl, so I will have to Google it later.
I don't.
We'll try and find the link.
Yeah.
The tape that he was in was called "Saved by the Smell," and his name is Dustin Diamond. So you'd think he's born for porn, right? Anyway, however, it says here that he was never actually on the sex tape. Rather, he had a stunt double, and his likeness added to it. Yeah, that's like the epitome of a poser. Yeah.
I would have thought that was one
I mean, at least do it. Don't need a stunt double.
film where people insisted on performing their own stunts, as it were.
Right. Oh, better yet, his full name is Dustin Neil Diamond. And you know what? Oh, he almost shares the exact same birthday as me.
Oh, wow.
That's terrible.
Now you know.
Saved by the Smell.
Which is a horrible name for a porn.
That's what I'm saying.
It
like,
really is.
They're like,
I mean, that seems like a niche fetish, really.
yeah.
You must really love that show.
Chemistry class, like doing the waft test. Nope, next.
Yeah, that's...
Anyways, gross. Now that we're thoroughly skeeved out about
Right.
about Screech, way to go, Beard Man.
Thank you. I'm live to serve.
Mm. Gosh. You've been serviced by the beard. Moving on.
That should be a thing.
Yeah. We are your gracious hosts. Right. I am Mama Pomba on the app, and you can call me Julie, or you can call me Mama. I don't know what the funniest thing. I've had a lot of nicknames, but I don't think that they're very funny at all.
Mm-hmm.
I made a joke with Madge that they used to call me Wild Rice in college, but that wasn't really a thing.
Wild rice.
That's until after college.
Yeah.
That's the
It's clever.
That's
So
awesome.
it went as long as Sea Rock went for me.
Right. Yeah. I think my longest standing nickname is Bean or Beanie, and I think that members of my family still call me that. So they used to call me Small Fry, Green Bean. I don't know what's with all the food names, but Anna Banana, that was also one because my real name is Juliana, and so they call me Anna Banana. But yeah, I don't have funny names.
I don't know. The wild rice. That's
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
that should actually be the username.
That's gonna
Maybe,
stick.
maybe.
Yes.
Oh, you should.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
so.
you could totally change
Okay, I'm changing my name. After
You should. Now we're gonna try to find you and like, wait, where's Mama?
that's right, Mama Wild Rice. No.
Mama Wild Rice.
Oh, wild rice. That,
I'm changing it. You mark my words. When the show is over, you will look for the Mama Wild Rice, and gonna blow people's minds.
It will. It will.
I like it.
Remember, she's
Yeah.
Tony's account too.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and he's already given the green light. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Oh, and then yeah, I'm Firefly 5 on the app or Guyton in real life. I haven't really had any funny nicknames at all, honestly. I've had all sorts of funny mispronunciations and misspellings and whatever of my name,
Mm-hmm.
like more than you can imagine, but not too many nicknames. For the most part, people honestly just avoid calling me by name completely and just kind of get my attention and start talking. It's completely how it goes. Once in a while, people will use like my first initial, but that's about as close as it ever really gets.
I can relate. I grew up going by my middle name, which is very hard to pronounce. And I started going by Susan when I was a freshman in high school, and I had the same experience. They either murdered my name or chose just to be like, "Hey, you," before.
With the face.
It's just kind of how it goes, I think.
Okay.
I have a friend that I tutored for a while, I guess, and his name's David, but he looks very, very much like Sunshine from Remember the Titans. And I don't think a nickname has ever stuck quite as well as when we started calling him Sunshine.
That's awesome.
He was trying to make, this is kind of based on your C-Rock nickname, he was trying to make B-Magic stick. But he ended up with Sunshine. Over again.
Sunshine, sunshine. I love it.
Oh, nice.
I changed it. I changed my name.
They just put on you.
It seems we may have to change the name of this show to A Show of Fire and Rice.
Oh.
That's fire and rice. Yes, indeed. That would be outstanding.
I love it.
Well done, Gonzo boy.
Well done. Well done. Okay, so Flip Flop Girl, thank you for the funniest nickname. And how did we get it? Well, those are.
Wait.
Sorry,
Frosty.
that's Frosty.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Frosty?
What's up? Well, that's the next one. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Facepalm. Happy anniversary on show of hands. Yippee skippy! The question is, what's the oddest event for which you celebrated an anniversary?
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
I don't know. I was going to say being diaper free. Yes, for myself, not for the children. I'm just kidding.
And that happened just recently. Congratulations.
We're on year number 2. It's going quite well.
Woohoo!
No, but I don't
Oh, okay.
really need to celebrate our wedding anniversary very much.
We do take out Chinese.
No, that's Valentine's.
And that's Valentine's.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, we don't really do anniversary.
I can't think of anything where I have a weird celebration for a weird anniversary.
Oh, celebration.
Maybe a work anniversary, and then giving you a plaque or something. It's not the strangest thing I can think of.
I once celebrated a year after moving in with a couple of friends.
Okay.
I once went 2 weeks without eating French fries.
Without what?
Eating French fries. That was amazing. Yeah, I don't know if I celebrated though.
Did you celebrate by eating your weight in French?
Eating French fries. It was awesome.
There you go.
Yes. Why would you try to give up French fries?
Well, it wasn't deliberately French fries per se. It was a whole genre of food. French fries happened to be included in that. But I think they were the food that actually brought me back to eating all the crap I eat.
Do you watch Scrubs at all?
I have not.
There's an episode where there's a recovering heroin addict. He's sitting there and he gets some good news and he goes, "You have to celebrate." Okay, let's do it. How do you celebrate without heroin? With
Cake,
mostly. Then let's.
There you go.
All without heroin. Pretty much.
All right. How about you, BamaGirl?
Sorry, you caught me too nice. Really, the strangest thing that I can think of anniversary-wise to celebrate would be a work anniversary. I don't. Oh, I know. I don't know that we really celebrated it, but we have at least observed and noted the anniversary of the day we moved into this house, which will be 29 years on Halloween.
Wow.
Wow.
So,
We are not up to 29 days.
I was in 7th grade, so.
Nice. Nice.
You were in
7th grade. Yeah, I'm older than you think I am. I'm older than most people think
ah,
I'm not doing the math. I'm like, 7th grade, that's like 12, 30, 38, probably. Yeah.
All of it. Okay, cool. See, Rock?
Oh, God.
Sorry. I won't.
It's okay. Well, the only thing I can
no,
think
we
of
actually could
is
start calling you Option C.
Option C.
Do you celebrate any odd anniversaries?
Vitamin C, High C.
No. Vitamin C was that like ridiculous band that had that graduation song.
And she had orange hair.
vitamin C. I don't know that.
I remember the song.
The only thing I can think of is on the anniversary of my grandfather's death. My grandmother goes outside. She lives in apartments, complex, whatever. She goes outside, hears a noise in a car, calls my mom over, and what they find is a cat was stuck in a car. Like, I don't know what part of the car. So I come home from school, and there's a cat that we rescued. You know, they got her clean and everything, all ticks and stuff off. She was a stray. She's a calico, and we named her Eddie. Weird name for a girl, but only because anniversary of my grandfather's death, and his name was Edward. So
Do you still have said cat?
yes, yeah. She doesn't like me too much, but yeah, like the only cat that's ever not liked me.
Aww.
Aw. There's a female character on Blue Bloods named Eddie, just so you know.
Interesting.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Random fact, okay?
Okay. Flip Flop Girl asks, if you were forced to wear a warning label, what would it say?
Mm, I
All
gotta think
right.
about this.
I think this was a poll one time when I answered it, and I can't remember what I answered, but it was darn clever.
I remember the answer.
Darn
I
clever.
remember doing a poll like this, and it was so clever too, and I can't remember who it was.
I had
I remember completely what I answered, and it was work in progress.
Oh, I do.
Oh, I like that.
I think it's
Cat Shadows is good. Do not feed.
Do not feed. Why? That's terrible. That's a terrible warning label. You should always feed.
yeah. Warning, feed the animals.
Not the shadow.
Maybe do not feed after midnight. Maybe
Yeah.
you can think
Come on.
Okay, work in progress. That was good.
Mine might be careful when waking.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person.
Or,
I'm not an awake person. Although I did wake up yesterday from what I'm going to call a late afternoon nap because I was really
Is that what
hungry.
you're gonna call
That's
it?
what I'm going to call it. I may not have gotten in bed yesterday at 4:50 in the afternoon.
Hey, naps are good. I learned that in college. I did not appreciate the nap in preschool, but in college I learned to embrace the nap.
Well, you'll learn something important in college.
Something.
But,
It's not learning, at least that.
Well, I was saying that I would have totally slept through the night, but then I got hungry, and so I got up to eat. And it was sad. But it was good. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know what my morning sign would be.
I have an idea for the orders.
Please
Well,
share it.
This ought to be good.
I would think that given your somewhat historic propensity or very smelly gas. But you would have a label of some sort around that. Like,
Toxic dump, is that what you're getting at?
yeah, evacuate premises upon fart or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Contents under pressure.
Content under pressure.
Contents under pressure. That's good.
There you go.
Wild rice. Contents under pressure.
That's right. That is right. That's I think that's gonna be my new tagline.
There you go.
There you go. Contents under pressure. There you go. You are making headway with your profile.
Update.
Oh boy.
Yeah, see, I'm not that clever. I guess mine's gonna have to be something like don't feed grains or glutens or something, because I am gluten intolerant and corn intolerant. So.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
That is hard to be an American. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. Almost all processed foods have one of the two.
Well, you do really, really well in a pit in Vietnam because I guess not a lot of gluten happening there. Or corn. You're good. You're good.
All right. Did Christian pick one?
Mine would be warning: crazy only around air. So, kind of self-explanatory.
So if we suffocate you, you're not crazy.
Because he's dead.
I mean, that works. Just don't do it.
Stable, we increase CO2 levels in the room. Very nice.
Oh my gosh. All right. Good. Good. And did we figure one out for you, Beard Man?
I would probably go with something like warning, sarcasm is imminent. Just so always prepared that I will probably not give you a straight answer.
That would be you or Mr. L. I don't know which one.
That's true. Okay. You read the next one from chat. I have to.
I think you just called him chat.
No, I said some fat. I have to check.
Okay. It's seriously, it's like car talk without the grunting. So Fat Shadow says, you can choose any of the better-known horror movie killers. Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, Chucky, Leatherface, etc. Which one would you want to have hunt you least? And which one do you think you can defeat? I haven't seen very many of these.
Yeah.
I've seen most of them, not all, a few times. Well, I think that I've never understood the Chucky films. I've watched them. I've watched people get massacred by Chucky, and just wondered why people aren't dropkicking him. Turn on the lights and dropkick him. And so I think I would go with Chucky for the one I'm pretty sure I could defeat.
No.
But one I want to hunt me the least of all of these, probably, honestly, Freddy Krueger, because he messes with your sleep, and nobody messes with my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. The other ones I can, like, hide somewhere, lock a door, whatever, but Freddy, you're going to eventually fall asleep. You're screwed. So.
I don't know any of these characters.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
The
what's
only Chucky movie I've seen, I walked out of in about 5 minutes. So.
Jason and Mike Myers for M. Myers?
For the sensitive viewers, which Care Bear would you like to hunt you?
Sunshine Bear.
Gummy Bear, what? Care a lot, love a lot, Sunshine Bear. Which one?
Tenderheart. Don't forget Tenderheart.
Yeah.
Braveheart.
Slaughter Bear.
What?
Monkey Bear. What's the bad guy's name?
I don't know.
I've only seen Chucky.
Oh, I was thinking like Mike Myers, like Funny Man Mike Myers, like Austin.
No.
No, not,
This is Michael Myers.
Halloween.
not Shrek.
I know the movie reference. I just haven't seen them.
Michael Myers, not funny. Not funny. He did the stand-up thing for a while, but when you don't talk, you just stand there with a big knife. It's really kind of a lame show.
Okay, interesting.
Let's see. Freddy Krueger, I might have a chance at because I don't know if I sleep enough for him to catch me. Um,
So you don't sleep enough to dream.
But he gets you in your dreams?
yeah,
Mhm.
Oh. Speaking of dreams, I had this crazy dream.
he'd end you.
He would end me. I'd be done. I'd be like, what happened to Wild Rice?
Yeah, I would be up a creek.
Sticky rice.
Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees are walking killers. They don't actually ever run. It's just no matter what you do, you can be running for days and just turn around and they're still there. They're like, what? Anyway, so yeah, so that's those guys. Chucky's a little doll with a knife that cuts you in the legs until you fall down.
Scary.
And then Leatherface is from Chainsaw Massacre, and that's just a weird incestuous family of wackos that live in the hills somewhere, and they kill hapless teenagers that have them by.
So wait, why do Jason and Myers walk after people? Are they just anybody, or is it somebody in particular?
Normally horny teenagers. That was generally their prey. Yeah.
Well, we're not teenagers anymore.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
What
We're
about
good with those.
Saw and Scream too?
Scream. Those guys are idiots. I'd outfox them. I'd take those idiots.
There you go.
Scream is actually the only horror series that I've actually seen all of them.
Ooh, I only saw part of one when I was at a friend's house, and I was too chicken to tell her to turn it off, so then I didn't sleep the entire night, and he really had to pee, but I didn't want to walk down the hallway by myself, so...
I feel like you've told us this story too.
I did. It was terrible. And then we prank called the radio station the next day. Good times.
So you know, The Ring. So I've never seen The Ring.
Oh, that
I only
one's really
kind
good.
of know what I'm talking
I
about.
haven't seen that one either.
You know how apparently at the beginning and at the end there's just like a flash on the screen or something like that? Apparently that's the entire movie thing that they play in The Ring, just on super speed. And that if you go frame by frame and get the entire thing.
Yeah, I actually saw that in the theater.
Me too. It was horrible.
I was moved by that film. I thought it was really good.
It was a really good horror film, but I almost wet myself numerous times, which is why I'm only back to 2 years on the diaper anniversary.
Good job.
So what about the frame by frame?
All right, you know how in like Fight Club, they have the random. Here's a frame of.
Yeah.
With this, they did like that whole movie that plays.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They sped it up and condensed it down to a couple of frames, like a handful of frames or something. And that's what the flash, I believe, in the end of the movie is that whole movie.
I
on
see.
super speed or something.
I see. I was
don't
probably
know.
watching it like this.
I haven't seen the movie. I read this and then I looked at a YouTube thing that actually slowed it down and oh yeah, that's the same thing. Okay, great. No context. You know, in reality, I think Freddy Krueger would probably be the hardest one because there's a supernatural element to it.
Right.
Where if Jason and Michael Myers can both walk and, as you said, can run away forever and turn around and they're still like right there.
Oh my God, that's a scary thought.
That is a scary thought.
It sounds like they're teleporters, and that's kind of scary too. But Chucky's a super little doll. I don't know why someone wouldn't just drop kick that thing.
But he's like, oh
I
my
mean-
God, if you saw the movie though, he's like, I guess strong-ish. I mean, he's like a 30-year-old man, something inside
a little dude,
a doll, and has like supernatural strength.
I'm still saying, I'm gonna whoop that little dude butt.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if it was a little doll against the rest of
Now, Claire, have you ever read the Matheson story about the little doll?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they made a Twilight Zone out of that one, where the dude brings home that little African doll and pretty much tears him apart all night long. Yeah.
But that thing was really small and fast.
Yeah, super fast, right?
And from what I've seen of Chucky, it doesn't seem like it'd be small enough to be fast enough to be.
It's like a My Buddy doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's
not
like.
Thanks. Now I have that commercial song stuck in my head.
I wonder if anybody remember My Buddy. Oh, My Buddy and Me. Yeah.
I totally do.
Okie dokie. Did everybody answer which horror person would get them? They would all get me. Let's just be real. I would just shout and cry.
That's exactly how I feel.
The one from Saw, I mean,
Yeah, I'm thinking the doll's the only one I remotely stand a chance against.
the one from Saw, am I the only person who saw that coming for like the entire movie?
Yeah, totally never seen it.
I just saw a little bit of it. First one.
Oh,
I need to watch it.
It's
Julie and I are going to watch something else while y'all talk about horror movies.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
go watch a nice feel-good movie.
that the last
For real.
whatever 2-3 minutes of the movie. I mean, was that meant to be a big surprise or?
No, I'm fine. I'm so
No.
smarter than everybody
No,
else.
it was too.
I was just teasing.
Greater
Just
than
because I haven't seen the movies.
of the people who've seen Saw did not expect what happened. Though perhaps you did. I did raise the PS flag when I realized what was going on. I'm like, during that entire time and nobody noticed he's breathing? Come on.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyway.
I mean, I guess they were distracted by other things, but
True. But
Yeah.
I've decided from now on, anytime I'm in that situation, I'm going to go ahead and just take that guy to find out what's going on.
This is how they did scary movies, though. Very obvious.
That's true. Now, I can't remember. I think it's the Insidious series. I believe it's the Insidious.
Yes, I knew. Yes. So I was
The
just gonna say,
writer
it's my
of that
favorite one.
series deliberately, when he sat down to write, this is what I heard, took yellow stickies and wrote down every cliche he could think of for a horror film and put them on a wall, and he said, I'm not going to do any of these for this film. And so Insidious actually does a really good job of coming up with some new scares.
Yes. And I think we talked about that too. The third one when we saw that.
Yeah.
Was it the third one? Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, so we're gonna go watch a feel-good movie. You guys could be scared.
Yeah.
Some Nicholas Sparks films now. Thank you.
Okay. Just Bob asks, should parents have complete freedom to name their kids what they want? If no, what would it be an example of names not allowed?
All right.
They should be able to name their kids what they want. Now, what they do with that responsibility or power, as it were, that's completely different.
Right.
Agree.
I
Yeah.
think the objectionable things would be like maybe cuss words, that kind of thing.
What's that famous one? It looks like shithead, but they're like, no, it's shitted. And I'm like, it looks like shithead.
Yeah.
There was a poor little girl in my class in first grade. Her name was Venus, according to her parents. Unfortunately, they spelled it Vines.
Wow. Awesome. The French spelling. Tell us more about that today. Yeah.
I think they might have been dyslexic.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was just actually lack of education, but because her fifth grade sister spelled it correctly.
Julie, was it your sister that knew the Brook and Rainbow from child when she did babysitting or child care, and their last name was Trout?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was. I couldn't remember if that was her.
That's not awesome. I don't know why people do that to their kids.
Oh yeah, it's like when you meet people that are like Robinette or Edwardson. You're like, the hell were you guys doing? Yeah.
I grew up with a guy. They named him Willie Johnson.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
When I worked at Space Camp, some of the poor kids' names that would come through there were horrible. The one that sticks out in my head right now is Jack Frost. I was like, really? Your parents' name?
I played rugby with a kid named Maximum Johnson.
What was it?
It was
What?
But it was short for Maximum because apparently his parents were whatever, so it was Maximum Johnson. No lie.
Nice.
Mhm.
Well, okay, so then on that, what about those people that have, reg type names, but then their parents spell them ridiculously because they want them to be unique?
Yeah, I saw a Courtney that was Cortnie.
Oh my.
Yeah, I was thinking.
If you have 2 apostrophes in your first name, there's a problem. Just say that.
Okay, so I guess I would say this. I would put a limit on it, just to the extent of what punctuation can show up, or like valid characters or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Mm-hmm.
A question mark halfway through your name, not okay.
Like Han Solo.
A number halfway through your name is not okay. Like I mean, these are the sorts of things where it's like you read about them, you read about different people who everyone's met someone whose name is this, and you realize probably no one actually has, but that it's just some sort of urban legend. But you read about people. Oh, I went to school with someone whose name had a 4 in the middle of it. And it's like,
Yeah, they weren't even looking. In my line of work, hyphenated names bring no end of agony. They cause so many problems in medical records. Ridiculous. And so I've become a not fan of hyphenated.
so when I got my driver's license, so I have 3 middle names,
Oh
and
my.
I have a very long last name. And when I got my driver's license, um, I went to go put my name in, and there were not. My name was too long to fit in their name field, and they didn't know what to do, and so they had to call into Lansing and really try and mess with it and whatever. And after however long, they just said, take his middle initials and hyphenate them. So my driver's license is my first name, and then my middle initials with hyphens between them, and then my last name because it just didn't fit.
Awesome.
My font's a little smaller for the name, and then it's regular font. I blame you.
I didn't realize that there were font sizes for that. I just assumed it was always small. Well, I met a woman. Her name is Melanie, right? Melanie. That's fairly typical.
Oh no.
She spelled her. It's Meliana. I'm like,
A?
yeah.
So some of us would say
Meliana.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Meliana.
Melanie. I'm like, what the worst ever,
Yeah, that's bad.
right?
There's some kids in our summer camp that just their first names.
It just can't be done.
Just go ahead. I just can't even.
They just get a bucket and just put some notes, some letters in there and just jumble it around. This one, this one, this one.
Apparently, Chris knew somebody named Dan Dong.
Oh
But he
no.
has his last name. You can't help that. Like, I heard of somebody whose last name is Wankwagon. Come on, good times. Okay,
We've got a preview question
from Jason.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we should do that. His name's too small.
Excuse me. You hear the hate?
What?
He's mad.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying your phone is made for little people.
I have small hands, okay? Okay, so Jason, speaking of spelling your name ridiculously, I'm just kidding. Jason 586 asked if the U.S. minimum wage is increased to $15 an hour. Do you believe it'll be used by businesses as a catalyst for the adoption of automation in low-skilled jobs? And he will be posting that question tomorrow, but he thought he would let us all flounder first.
I think anything that increased cost moves us closer to them seeking the idea of automation. So yeah, I think so.
I
I
think
think
I think everyone's pushing for automation. Everyone being, yeah. I think industries are pushing for automation where they can, and I'm I may be in the minority, but I'm not convinced that's such a bad thing.
You're not convinced what?
That is such a bad thing.
Oh,
Uh, I I think it makes us. I think it would force us to have to be a little bit more. Well, sometimes more creative, sometimes just more ingenuitive. But I think ultimately it's not. I think ultimately it will push us forward. The transition period is going to be awful.
yeah.
right.
Yeah, the transition would be difficult. Very difficult.
But I think realistically, whether this would be a catalyst or not, I think it would be maybe not a catalyst so much as an excuse.
Maybe.
It's
Excuse
not-
might be a better word.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's just like, oh, let's not do this because we just don't have the. It's. I don't know. It's.
That's probably a valid point.
You know, and in my experience, you know, automation is not an easy answer. It's not as simple as, well, you know, we were paying these people $8 an hour, but now it's $15 an hour. So let's just, you know, we've been holding all these machines in the back room anyway. Let's just switch them over. A lot of the industries that use automation have automated to the point that it's beneficial to do so, and they have cut corners and cut people for as long as they can because there is still a human element needed in a lot of quality quality work and quality evaluation. So would there be some amount, in my opinion? Yeah, there would be some. But are we going to see it at Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's, like someone said? Probably not. Are we going to see it more in manufacturing? Perhaps. As artificial intelligence continues to grow, like Claire said, it's inevitable anyway. Companies have no interest regarding their bottom line. Corporations have no interest in the human element. They have interest in their bottom line. So it's a matter of time. Whether minimum wage is $15, $8, $3.
Christian, do you have anything to add?
Nope.
Well, that was succinct anyway.
Alrighty. Potterhead Forever says, discuss an awkward or embarrassing memory, and Fat Shadow has added on involving a bodily function.
Oh.
Oh, I have so many.
Well, I just fessed up to being in diapers up until 2 years ago, so beat that.
But that's not true.
Can make up something too.
Mine probably have a lot to do with what was supposed to be air and then it ended up not being air. And when you're in a situation where there's nowhere to go, you're at work and you're like, I'm just gonna let this one squeeze by, and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, yeah, that was bad. That was not air. And then you're trying to figure out what the hell you're gonna do. So I've had a few of those over the course of my life. One time when I was in Michigan, I was traveling to Traverse City, way up north, and I had a car full of kids and wife and everybody, and I was dying. And so we pulled over, and it was one of those gas stations where you run in and get the key and they come out the side. And I go in there, and there's a man or a woman's and a female, or a woman's and men's, and I run into the men's and I look and immediately see that there's no toilet paper, right? And I'm like, I pull ass out of that one. I go into the female and I slam the door, lock it. That one was well equipped. And I spend my quality time in there. Life's good. So I open the door and there's this long line of women. And I'm like, sorry about the damage. There was no. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Just gonna leave. Sorry. Yeah, and maybe a lot of dirty looks.
Man. The gas station.
Would you want to say?
You don't want to get the key one. You wouldn't think that there would be a line.
I know.
Like, ever.
Yeah, it was tourist season up there, cherry time. So you know how it can be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
What the wife said was, "Nice work, honey. Nice, very nice." So we were parked right outside the bathroom, so it's not like she could go anywhere. And everybody's looking at
You said not again.
kids are crying. It's a hot mess. Yeah. So
Did you take the keys with you?
good time. Now you know why I'm single. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, not married anyway. Yeah.
Oh no, mine's kind of along those lines. I'm a very nervous pooer in public, and I really, really dislike doing that if I don't have to. But I was at school. This was in college. I was at school one day, and I had this demon all of a sudden, and I was like, "This isn't good. This isn't good. I don't even know where the nearest bathroom is." So I book it to the nearest bathroom that I could find, and I thought I was gonna die, right?
Oh.
And then I hear these girls come in, and they're like, "Oh, something died in here," and they were like, like horrible, like, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't leave because they're gonna know it's me." And so they weren't in there to go to the bathroom; they were just in there to, I don't know,
Do what girls do when they go to bed.
hang out. Yeah, they were just hanging out.
Powder the nose.
And I think they realized that somebody was still in there because I still felt terrible. Like I was like, I can't leave anyway because I don't know what's going to happen. And then eventually, I was probably in there for like 20 minutes. And I was waiting. Yeah, I was waiting for them to go, and they never left. So eventually, I sheepishly walked out, and I was like, I made some offhand comment about something about, I don't know, it was terrible. I tried to play it off like it wasn't me, but it very clearly was me, and I had to run fast away. It was terrible.
In hindsight, don't you wish you would have just exploded out of the stall and said, "Yeah, that was all me," and then point at them and go, "Let's see you guys do better," and then walk out.
Or you could do like a really high voice.
Oh, I just felt so bad. Like I still didn't feel good, so I was just it wasn't good.
The other option in that scenario is they're hanging out, you're in the stall, you want them to leave, so you start softly moaning, and gradually moan louder and louder. And they just get so uncomfortable, they're like, "We're so out of here." I'm like, "God."
Yes.
And you're like, "Freedom!" Yeah, so that's all.
Saved by the smell.
There you go.
Wait, so along
You
those
must really want to skip class.
Yeah.
along those lines, I have a funny story from today.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
See, at
So-
least mine was a while ago. What's your?
No, I was up on campus, and I'm working in this lab right across the hall from it.
It's
the
not
bathroom.
you.
No. I know, I can't think of a good one.
Okay.
But right across the hall is the bathroom. So I had walked into the bathroom, and then there was a guy in there in the far stall all the way in the corner. And it's summertime on a college campus, and it's like middle of the day, so there aren't too many people around. There are a couple of classes that run, but not too many, you know? So it's very, very quiet on this floor. and there's a guy in there, and you can hear through his headphones that he's watching porn.
Oh.
Um,
Mm.
Oh.
you can also hear
The various noises.
more indications that he's enjoying it.
A like slapping sound.
Yes.
Gosh.
That kind of sounds like that, actually, probably. Yeah. Way to go, Bama. That was a very good representation.
So another guy walks in, and this guy in the stall is by now kind of aware that there are multiple people in there.
Did you applaud him?
I would have.
You applauded him?
We
You
did.
would have challenged him.
A cheer squad. Go. Yeah.
The other guy called him out because he just he stood there and he heard it, and then he kind of did one of these looking underneath the door things. He goes, "Luke, is that you?"
Oh my God.
And then suddenly everything stops. He goes, "Come on, man. Is it?" And then, yeah, he started clapping, and so I joined him in clapping. And when leaving, the guy decides that the best thing to do now is to turn the light off, and then to wait until the other people who are in the hallway waiting for the class that's about to start. He didn't really clue them in on what was going on, but he said, "Hey, when this guy walks out of the bathroom, if you guys could all just stand up and give him a round of applause, that would be."
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And I'm in the room right across the hall, in the lab right across the hall from it. So when he walked out, I did get free tickets to this show, and it was awesome.
But we all now know what to say if you're ever caught in that situation. You will just go, "Did you know that Screech had a sex tape? I was just checking that out." Yeah, I was so loud.
Would you like a link?
This is crazy, guys. This is crazy stuff. Yeah.
The guy also turned the lights off on the way out of the bathroom.
Should be on your bucket list.
Awesome.
It was so. Yeah, I kind of wish we could have gotten that guy on here tonight
No,
to
I
be
don't
able
want
to
that
tell
guy.
that story. But it was pretty funny. I mean, I'll try and come up with a story.
To follow up on your story there, Claire, when I was in the Navy, we had gone into dry dock, pulling out of the water, and we were all kind of living on this barge next to the dry dock. And when you walked across the quarterdeck, there was a stairwell that went immediately down to a lower area, which was kind of a lounge area. And then the quarterdeck was up here where you stood watch, and everybody else would pass by that stairwell and go on to their offices. Well, there was a good friend of mine, actually, who was down there, and he believed, wrongfully, that he was out of sight, and decided that that was a prime opportunity to work one out. And so a chief comes on across the quarterdeck, and he kind of peeks his head down there, and he sees this guy working one out down there, and he's like, and he just freezes, right? And he goes around the whole barge, gathering everybody over the top of the stairwell, and waits for him to finish, and then everybody applauds. That's never the same. He was like, "Oh my, yeah," and it was amazing. It was awesome, and yeah, he totally was had. Didn't get in trouble, but I guarantee you, he never did that again.
Yeah. Interesting.
So the lesson of the day is discretion is the better part of valor.
That is the lesson. All right.
Christian, you don't have any stories like that, do you?
He was like, I plead the fifth.
Oh, I thought he froze.
Well, I did too. I was like, uh-oh.
No.
I see. Your turn.
Oh, me. Oh, God. Oh, those would get annoying quickly. Well, I can't think of any stories really. I mean, all I know is all throughout high school, all 4 years, my stomach hurt every day just from holding it in because I did not want to even go to the bathroom first of all, but just let even one out, and it was so tough. But that's how it was the whole time. I refused to go to the bathroom there.
Oh,
Number two.
yeah.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. I really dislike going twosies in public.
Yeah.
Not awesome.
I never really have. Unless when I was like a baby or something, I don't know.
Why diapers, man?
In high school, the chemistry teacher I had was so sensitive to students not wanting to do that. He would actually, students could go to him and say, they would admit their predicament, and he would let them use the faculty single-person restroom. So they didn't have
Wow.
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Cool
I
dude.
didn't realize this was such a thing.
Yeah, good. Multiple friends that like when they go on vacation, like their stomachs hurt at the end because they don't want to do their business.
Right. We need to be more accepting of each other's poo. Come on now, people.
I
We all
saw an article on that before too.
I understand having a preference against, but man, not at the point of like physical pain.
Yeah, I agree, Fire.
Ooh,
I've since
not
gotten
worth
over
it.
it, but
Of course, I spent many years with IBS, so it wasn't an option. But
Yeah, true.
yeah. As we heard from Rebecca, the intern's story,
Right,
story
right.
It was a good show.
that was better. Okay. Bama, did you tell us it?
You know, I can't. Like I said, I've had many years with IBS, so I'm sure that I probably did. I just can't think of anything. The only ones that I can think of are not actually me,
How convenient.
and they're more recent. So, but they were nonetheless embarrassing and traumatizing for me. So I will tell you. And before I tell you, you can totally laugh because it was funny, and in retrospect, I totally laughed.
Who
Um,
left?
Okay. One was both of them involved my dad. One of them was he got up and left the room and told me he was going to the bathroom. This was actually at home. And there was the bathroom that he normally used was having plumbing issues at the moment. And so I reminded him of that. And of course, keep in mind that he had dementia. So I needed to remind him of these kind of things. So I remind him, and he's like, okay, well, where do I go? So I reminded him how to get to the other restroom in the house. And in a moment, I heard him say, yeah, I can't find it. I'm just going to go here. So that immediately means, I better go find out where here is. He was in the kitchen straddling the garbage can. And
Probably the best place in the kitchen to do it.
when I said, Dad, what are you doing? He then turned around and just squatted in the middle of the floor.
Oh, see, the garbage can was better.
Yeah, the garbage can would have been much better. So, that was one story. The other one that was slightly more embarrassing because it was in public, we were shopping in Kroger. I don't know if you guys have Kroger, but it's a large grocery store. And usually, by the time we got from one side of the store to the other, he always had to go to the bathroom for number one. And so I told him, okay, I know, do you want to go ahead and go to the bathroom? No, I'm okay. Well, then in a few minutes, and he pushed the buggy, but he always made me walk in front of him. And so in a little bit, I realized he wasn't right behind me anymore. So I turned around to see what was going on. And in the milk department, he had decided that was a good place to urinate. Right there, middle of the floor, and I'm going, oh my gosh. And then, of course, I'm thinking, okay, has anybody seen this? Are there kids around? So, yeah, those are the two most embarrassing that I can think of right now.
awesome. I had a friend who had just moved into an apartment and she didn't know something was wrong with their toilet too.
Mhm.
And she went running into the
Oh.
and she went running into the bathroom, remembering, okay, shoot, the toilet doesn't work. So she did the looking around. She looked at the tub. She looked at the garbage thing, and she is still to this day not told her husband that she pooped in their garbage, and then took it out afterwards because she was like, I had to go so bad, I didn't know what to do.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and she was like, I couldn't go in the tub.
Have you seen Bridesmaids?
Yes, where they
Oh, I know what you're getting
I
at.
have not.
She goes, it's happening. Yes, this is happening right
Yeah.
now.
And then she does it right in the middle of the road.
Over on that $6,000 wedding dress or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
that hurt me
That
because
laxative thing.
well, no, it was they went to that Brazilian steakhouse, right? That the one friend insisted that they go to, and then they all got sick, right?
And she's self-pretending like she's not sick. She's sweating. Yeah.
That was me. I was sweating. It was terrible.
I
Okay,
have
okay,
one more, I think, actually.
okay.
It sort of involves me. So, do you know where Annapolis Medical Center is? Or Anne Arundel, I'm sorry. Anne Arundel?
I'm very familiar with the location. I work there every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, big hospital. When my mom worked there before, as a nurse, my dad and my maybe 5-month-old sister, something like that, we went to come visit her. So he went to the bathroom, into the bathroom, and we have a stroller, right? I'm waiting outside the bathroom with my sister in the stroller, and what we have is a fart machine, you see. So I didn't even know he put that in there, and he had the controller with him inside the bathroom. So he pushed that a couple times, and it surprised me, and I started laughing. And then there was this old couple across from us that looked at us, me and my little sister.
Nice. Nice.
I just couldn't stop laughing.
Blame it on-
I didn't say sorry, nothing. And my dad came out of the bathroom with such a huge smile.
Oh,
Okay, okay. We are gonna do more questions because we're running a little long, but I think this would be fun. But so kind of ultimate question of the night. The
That's a
wolf.
word, by the way, that our almost 6-year-old busted out probably before the rest of us started using it.
True. That's obnoxious. Anyway, no. The wolf asks, if you had a special ability no one else on Earth possessed, would you rather keep it a secret or tell everybody?
I think we need to further define a question just for the benefit of the answer. Like, are we talking about something that's a little bit more supernatural, superpower-ish, or are we just like if you're a really good violin player? What are you talking about?
It's something else no one on Earth possesses.
Oh, that's probably not good violin player then.
Right.
I'm keeping it a secret.
yeah.
I'm
The superhero thing.
I'm kind of a quiet person anyway, and I don't need that.
You tell me.
Yeah, I'd tell you. That's probably it.
You whisper, I have power.
The mom.
I tell you.
Kill my ass.
Well, I'd tell you, and the kids would figure out how to do it because they would.
Genetics 101.
Seriously, like, what? You can stop time? Show me how. Oh yeah, I can do that. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I would keep it secret.
I think it would really honestly depend. I mean, my initial gut reaction is I would keep it a secret. But if it was something that wouldn't cause like mass hysteria, because if it wasn't, does that make sense? Like, If you
Mhm.
tell somebody that you have something that they're afraid of, then they're going to come after you or they're going to
Mhm.
do something, you know. But if it's just something that it's for you, then I don't think that it would bother many people, you know what I mean? But yeah,
Like if every time the word pancake was mentioned, something happened, you'd probably keep that.
exactly, exactly. So,
Right.
you know, something nice like that, but like, you know, well, I was thinking about like X-Men when
Right.
what Senator Kelly is like, want these people who can control your minds, you know, out on the streets, and you know that would probably cause concern for other people if they thought you weren't going to be using your powers for good, and how would you convince them that you weren't? But I would probably keep it a secret.
Well,
Yeah.
see, I totally went the ET scenario in my head, and I didn't want to be poked and prodded, and
Yeah, well, that
Mm.
too.
you
Yeah,
know,
be a freak show.
yeah.
So, like, keeping their privacy. Good. I don't know what the follow-up
What
question.
about you, Beardman?
Weird.
Well, I think I'm right in line with what Lou said. Is just that depends on the magnitude of the talent. If all I can do is raise 6 inches off the ground, that's all, the extent of my ability. It's just a neat party trick. But if I can, in fact, have the power of compulsion where I can all of a sudden overrule your personal drive and make you do whatever I want you to do, I'm probably going to keep that a secret. Because people would be, and rightfully so, would be seriously freaked out if you could do that.
Right.
So yeah, it would depend on the magnitude of the item, the issue, the ability. So
Mm-hmm. What about you, Christian?
I would try to keep it secret, but I mean, like the first superpower I can think of, which is kind of lame, but I mean it helps me out, is I could make any kind of Mountain Dew appear in my hand. So
you have Mountain Dew appear in your hand.
yeah,
That's hilarious.
if
That
the
belongs.
government wants to take me for that, I mean there's something wrong with them. But
Yeah, that's true. And if they have you in prison, you still got your Mountain Dew. Boom.
So I can tell you this. I can tell you as a physicist that if you were to be able to suddenly make matter appear in your hands, it doesn't matter what that is. Um, you you would be very highly researched.
I'll just say it's a magic trick. I'm
You,
never telling the secret.
You and David Blaine.
I mean, realistically, that solves the energy problem completely. That's, I mean, yes, it would be a world powered by spontaneous production of Mountain Dew, but it solves the energy problem completely. So anytime you can make anything appear from nowhere or disappear into nowhere, um, there's huge interest in anything that can even come close to that.
Which which reminds me that when you do see it, Claire, I see Ant-Man. I have some physics questions that they go into in the movie, and I wondered if they're accurate or not. So when you do see it, remind me, and I'll ask about it.
Which movie is it?
Interstellar.
Ant-Man.
Okay.
It's on the list. It's on the long list. I know. I always say it's on the list, but I swear we'll get to it. Okay. Okay. Um. Oh, and the wolf says that it would be supernatural, the power.
Got it.
Thanks for answering. I hope we answered it correctly or to your liking. Okay. Last question. Flip Flop Girl says, "What is the worst first date you've ever had?" Details. I know what yours is,
No, because it didn't go through.
but it's like it was gonna, and that's pretty
It,
bad.
it would have been the worst first date ever,
Yeah.
but it was the worst
First pre-date.
first.
Almost.
So now you have to share.
I think I've told this story before on here, but there was. I've been talking to someone a bit, and I went to go pick her up. We were gonna go, whatever it was, out to dinner or something like that. So I go to her place and I see pictures up of her with some guy. Because she had, I got there and she's like, all right, well, give me a minute. I'm, whatever. I'm gonna have you stand here for a couple minutes while I, who
Freshen
knows
up.
what, sure. And so I'm looking around and she's got pictures up of some guy with her, and at first I'm like, all right, maybe a brother, maybe a whatever. So I asked her, hey, who's this guy? Oh, that's kind of my boyfriend of X amount of years.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay though, he's in prison now. Oh,
Yikes.
for what exactly? Oh, assault, but it wasn't me.
Oh.
Okay.
Bonus.
Well, I'm just gonna grab the rest of my, I'll be just a few more minutes, and so I left. Because
You vapored, right?
that was not the sort of first date that I needed to go on. It was not the sort of situation that I needed to worry about talking myself out of. So I left.
Probably good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that
It was good.
was a non-first date.
That's pretty bad.
What? What?
Where'd you go?
Hello.
All right, Bama, you got a good story for us?
I've debated. I read that question. I've debated between two. And I think the one I'm going to go with is kind of a non-date, too. Okay. This was in, I'm going to say early 20s, probably. And my best friend and I had planned to go see a movie. And all of a sudden, we get this phone call from two guys that we were acquainted with. And they were like, oh yeah, we were hoping that we could all do something tonight. Well, neither of us thought anything of it. We were like, okay, we're thinking we're going to hang out with these people as friends. And so much so that, in fact, I bought her movie ticket, okay? And because she hadn't gotten paid yet that week. And one of them actually bought both of the guys' movie tickets. It was really kind of funny. But anyway, so then when we go to sit down, they make a point of separating and sitting on each side of us. We still did not clue in that they thought that we were on a double date until about a week later when we're at one of our best friend's birthday parties and we overhear one of the guys telling somebody about this double date that they went on with me and Casey. And we're like, really? Guys, we didn't know it was a date.
Wow.
So anyway, that was awkward. Yeah, I think that's the story I'm gonna go with. There's another story, but it's
That's a good one.
it was when I was 15. First unchaperoned date. And the date itself was kind of weird because it was supposed to be a double date, turned into a triple date.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. People kept getting added to the date, and or couples rather. Apparently, nobody wanted their daughters to be alone with any of these guys. And anyway, so but at the end of the evening, we did all end up separated. And the part that made it the worst date was when, gosh, I cannot believe I'm telling you this out loud. Okay. He kissed me, but that wasn't the bad part. The bad part was the way he decided to kiss me. Okay, I don't know. Somebody may be real into this, but it was not a very good experience. He decided to suck on my tongue to the point that it was numb 30 minutes after the date ended. 30 minutes later, my tongue was still numb. It was like I had been to the dentist or something. It was bad. So I think, and that was our only date and our only kiss. So I think that might be the worst.
Yeah, that's impressive. Wow.
Interesting.
That's
But that doesn't warrant date number 2?
you know what?
No. There wasn't even a phone call after that. I didn't even answer any calls. So.
Wow.
That's kind of funny.
Try to get more of that tongue sucking action.
Right? So you're not supposed to do that?
Oh no. Okay, that is.
I'm really glad that I decided to do this audio only because I am probably the color of the Bama circle there.
Oh, we're all friends here. We're all friends. I've told you probably way too many poop stories for my own good.
What can we do?
I've told that story on SoHH before, but just different saying it as opposed to typing it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
Oh, geez. All right, Christian. You got a good zinger for us?
I don't actually.
What?
mean,
Lies. Lies. You have to.
I don't like. I mean, I went about 4 different first dates. All of them went smoothly, if you will. There's not much to do around here, so we kind of do the same things, but nothing really bad.
All right. Fine.
Yeah, what can we do?
Be that way.
Beardman, you got one for us?
Yeah, mine was actually it was the second date. It wasn't the first date, but the first date went fine. It was just a normal meet for drinks, dinner thing, and it went fine. And we agreed to do it again like a week later, and so we went out, and we went to kind of a nicer restaurant, and about halfway through the meal. And you know, and I need the disclaimer. This is a very responsible and right thing to do. However, extremely awkward. So about halfway through the meal, she kind of cleared her throat. I feel that I kind of made a promise to myself that anytime I go on a date 2 times with somebody, I will always fully disclose that I have herpes. And so I was like, ooh, okay. And you know, while I appreciated the honesty, it did put a huge damper on any future potential dates. So
It was the gift that keeps on giving.
yes, right, and you know, and it was fine. I mean, we were very mature adults about it, and you know, and I said, you know, I really appreciate that you were honest about that, and you know, and everything else, and but given my current situation in my life, that's not something I'm necessarily willing to invest in. So, so you know, it was very nice. We finished dinner, had a good evening, and I said goodbye. But that was not necessarily like worth like humiliating. It was just like kind of, oh, what do you do? What do you say? You know, and so it was kind of a little awkward.
Yes, that would be.
But that's it's much nicer finding that out then than later on.
And finding out after, yeah.
Exactly. I wasn't going to tell her about my Ebola, so whatever.
Nice. Okay, well, we do have more questions, but we will write them down and save them for another time. And I think that we've all had a really good time since it's way later than we normally hold our shows for. So, of course, we would like to thank our guests, Christian and Aryu, for being on, and Yippee Skippy for BamaGirl for having us. So hopefully you had a fun time and you would like to come back on again some other time. So we will be seeing you guys all next week, and keep the questions coming, and we will love them. We'll see you all later.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye. Good night.